Hi guys, welcome to Handy and Easy. Today we're in the garage and we will be repairing this Genie garage door opener. I was thinking in replacing the entire garage door opener, but I did some research and found out that probably the capacitor could be failing. If you're experiencing that in cold weather it doesn't open, or when you press the button it gets sometimes stuck, there's a very high chance that the capacitor is responsible for this behavior. I believe it's worth doing a quick check of the capacitor, because if you call someone, they will probably charge you something in between $100 to $200 just for replacing the capacitor. And if they suggest that you need to replace the entire unit, you will be spending something in between $300 to $500, and that's a lot of money. So I definitely think it's worth giving it a try. Before doing any repair, remember that safety is first. Always disconnect the power from the unit. Now, let's get started. These are the tools and materials that we will require: a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, some nitrile gloves, nose pliers, water and baking soda mix, and mix it until you get a thick paste, 400 grit sandpaper, and finally the replacement capacitor. For the replacement capacitor, you will need to look at your own capacitor electrical specs, but here I have a 70 microfarad capacitor that can handle up to 220 volts AC. I will leave a link in the description below for this part and all of the tools that I'm using in this video in case you're interested. This step is optional, but I wanted to show you this device that is called a capacitor tester, and this will allow us to test a capacitor before replacing it. It is very useful for testing capacitors like the garage door opener or even your AC compressor capacitor. Before testing the capacitor, it is very important that you turn off power and discharge the capacitor like I'm about to show you in the video. For testing the capacitor, we'll take these two probes and connect them to the capacitor terminals. Then we'll look at this number. This is telling us that this capacitor has 64.1 microfarads in capacitance. And as I was telling you, this capacitor is rated for 70 microfarads plus minus 10%. So this value is within range and tells us that the capacitor is working correctly. My old capacitor that I'm going to replace in this video had a capacitance of only 30 microfarads, and with that I knew that it was time to replace it. I will also leave a link in the description below in case you're interested in this device. As a first step, we'll need to remove this cover. It has 4 screws, 2 on the bottom that we will need to completely remove, and 2 on the sides that we will need just to loosen a little bit. As soon as I opened the cover, I knew instantly what was the problem. The capacitor's electrolyte was leaking, as you can see here. I also tested the capacitor afterwards, and it was showing half of its capacitance value, so this definitely needs to be replaced. Before replacing the capacitor, we must make sure that there's no leftover electricity inside. For discharging the capacitor, we will take our screwdriver and touch the terminal in pairs, like this. Now we'll take our flathead screwdriver for loosening this screw. After loosening it, we will be able to remove our capacitor. Before we continue, make sure that you take a picture so that you remember the order of the cables. Now, we will remove all of the terminals using our nose pliers. Before connecting the terminals to the new capacitor, we will be cleaning them with our baking soda and water mix to make sure that we get rid of all of this corrosion. As you can see here, I removed most of the corrosion. Nevertheless, there are still some sections that need to be sanded using our 400 grit sandpaper to have a good connection between the terminal and the capacitor. Now that the connectors are clean, we are ready to install our new capacitor. In order to do this, we will look at the picture we took previously to know the order of the cables. In my case, we will install both of these yellow cables on one terminal and the other two orange cables on the other terminal. Now make sure that everything is snug. And finally, we'll install our cover and connect power back again. With the power back on, we are ready to test our repair. So it's opening and closing perfectly. With this, we conclude our video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Handy and Easy, and as always, have an excellent day.